Saw those beautiful girls from the Dominican Republic earlier this week. We had the pictures conjoined at the spine. You see that? They're actually connected, conjoined twins. They're beautiful, but that's no way to go through life. Surgeons in Westchester, after a 21-hour surgery, were able to separate them. You could call it a miracle, but it was a lot of hard work involved. The doctors who performed this surgery, the two lead surgeons, by the way, 50 were involved overall, but the two lead doctors join us right now. We've got Dr. Samir Pandya and Dr. Whitney McBride, pediatric surgeons at Westchester Medical. Gentlemen, welcome and congratulations. You guys are pretty amazing.
Yeah, thank you very much, Greg.
So
thank
you very much for having us. Thank you and congratulations. So this is obviously the first time you've done something like this. Do you practice? How do you do something like this the first time?
Well, a lot of it comes to preparation and organization and anticipation. We rehearsed several steps of the procedure several times.
What did you rehearse on? Do you rehearse on dolls or what?
Well, that's a funny story, actually. In order to rehearse, I did buy a couple of stuffed animals, Mickey and Minnie, and sewed them together, which were promptly abducted by my 2-year-old daughter, and my nanny separated them.
Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Wait, you had never done a surgery like this before, Dr. McBride? Never?
No, this was the first time for us, and it was the first time for Maria Fareri Children's Hospital to separate conjoined twins.
Can we see that picture one more time, please? The picture again. Tell us what actually is fused. These two girls joined together at the lower spine. What was the issue here, other than the obvious?
There were several very complicated issues. They were joined at the tailbone, so essentially their tailbones were fused together, and they had two independent pelvises, but they were very tightly attached. They shared a common spinal cord, which required the pediatric neurosurgeons, our doctors Tobias and Mohan, to separate the actual spinal cord. And then they had a major blood vessel which connected the two babies, which was probably one of the most concerning parts of the surgery because it was very delicate to separate, and we were concerned at how the babies would respond once the blood supply was interrupted to both babies. But fortunately, they both did great when we did that.
Thank goodness. They're 11 months old. So it took 21 hours, practically a whole day. 50 medical personnel were involved. How does that work out? Are you side out and rotating people in and out of the surgery room?
Well, that's exactly right. We have several different teams. In this particular situation, we had multiple specialties represented and involved. And so every specialty would do their part, and then the next specialty would come in and take over.
And what about you two? How long were you both in the surgery room?
We were actually there from the start to the finish.
You were, for 21 hours.
Yeah.
Did you play music? What did you do during that time?
It's, I like to play music in the operating room. So.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Country, rock, pop, classical.
Okay, well, I hope you're not having too much fun in there. 21 hours, were there complications along the way?
Actually, everything went extremely smoothly, and there were no complications. It gets back to the practice and the choreography. I mean, it just went like clockwork. Both babies did great throughout the whole case. We had excellent anesthesia support so that the babies were stable throughout the whole 21 hours.
By the way, we're talking about a multi-million-dollar procedure. All those doctors, all that time. This is expensive.
Fortunately, as a physician and as a surgeon, I don't have to worry about that side of the menu.
Did the hospital pick up the...
This was all at really the administration's request, and they supported the project so that the administration at the Children's Hospital at Maria Fareri basically did this for these two children.
By the way, the father gave you guys a bit of a pep talk before the surgery,
yes,
didn't he?
Indeed. Yes,
what did
indeed.
he say?
So on the night before surgery, he told me, after he was a little tearful, and I said that, hey, everything's going to be okay, Abel. We'll get through this. And he said, I'm not nervous. I know that I want you to know that we lose every battle that we don't take part in. And tomorrow, you do battle for my daughters, and I'm in battle with you. And we pray and support you, and we have faith in you.
That's beautiful. Now, Doc, you were telling me about a story about the girls. They're 11 months old, and they obviously were very, very close. So they were put out, obviously. When they came to, after the operation, tell us what you saw.
Well, after the operation, after they had recovered over the next few days, they had been separated in different rooms for several days. So the first time that they saw each other, the mom, Laura Lynn, she has this beautiful picture of them first looking at each other, and the bigger twin had waved and gave the smaller twin a little flying kiss and shed a tear. So that was just.
Oh, how sweet.
That's beautiful. Well, you guys are amazing. Dr. McBride, where did you grow up, and where did you go to medical school? Tell me about the moment you decided you wanted to be a doctor.
Well, I grew up in Connecticut, in just over in Ridgefield, Connecticut. So originally from the area, and then went up to Vermont and went to medical school at the University of Vermont.
And you knew you wanted to be a doctor?
Pretty much from when I was very small. And I knew as soon as I got any experience in medicine that I wanted to be a surgeon and work with children, and that's what I've done for the last 18 years.
Beautiful. Dr. Pandya?
I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya, and I went to medical school at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. And I wanted to be a surgeon since I was probably 6 years old. My father's a surgeon, and when he was taking out a bullet in the emergency room one day, I was next to him and I said, hey, when is it going to be my turn?
So, by the way, how did the two of you get chosen for this operation?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. I was actually eating lunch in the coffee shop in between operative cases in my scrubs, and a woman approached me with a Polaroid of the twins and said, can you help us?
Was it the mother, or was
it was a family friend, and the twins at that time were still in the Dominican Republic. And I looked at the picture and I brought it down to Dr. Michael Gowitz, the physician-in-chief at the Maria Fareri Children's Hospital, and the rest is kind of history. We thought this is something that we can do. We have a tremendous team with all the specialties, the subspecialties that are able to do this work, and it was a project that the hospital was willing to take on. And we
Started on your coffee break.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
So were some of the other doctors maybe slightly jealous that you got this assignment?
Well, I think one of the best things that we have at the Maria Fareri Children's Hospital is a culture of a team culture. And we all work very well together, and it's been a spectacular effort.
Right. This was really a team effort all the way around, not only with the physicians, but the nursing staff was tremendous, the anesthesia staff was tremendous, and it involved, like I said, 50 people rotating through the operating room for 21 hours.
And the babies are good.
They're doing great.
So how much longer will they be in the hospital?
Hopefully another 7 to 10 days. They're eating, they're active. I was with them last night. They're playful, they're smiling. So they just it's just a matter of a little bit of time for some of the wounds to heal, and then hopefully we'll get them home and with the families.
Dr. Whitney McBride, Dr. Samir Pandya, thank you, gentlemen. They're at the Maria Fareri Children's Hospital in Valhalla. And as we go to break, yeah, that's complicated, Rosanna.
You brought a spine with you.
Well, it's the model. It's a 3D model that we used for the operation.
Good. It's not anybody's spine.
No.
Okay, just checking.
Oh, gosh. All right, quick peek outside. If we